Hello comrades, Commissar Bro here today with Crossfire Dungeons, a clearly indie game by, I imagine, Random Thoughts Entertainment. Now, I don't quite know what to say. I do believe, every game has some sort of benefit, has some sort of purpose, and to a degree has its good and its bad spots. And this game is no different. There's some interesting concepts. The combat is alright. And I'll show you what it looks like. But first, there's a couple things I want to point out about this game from my experience so far. The sound randomly cuts out, never comes back. When you first start the game up, you are greeted by a rather beautiful, like this music that's playing. If I had it loud enough, you could hear the static in the background. You're also greeted by the fact that there's no options menu. So you turn down the music, or turn down the sound, or make the resolution bigger. Or as a matter of fact, there is no options menu at all. So the only way to turn down the music is to go to your system mixer and turn it down on your desktop. The only way to increase screen size is to full screen it, as if this was a browser game. Interesting, right? Very interesting. So, with that out of the way, and that beautiful noise every time you click something. Every time. Wait for it. Every single time you click anything, that is the noise it makes. Beautiful, right? It reverbs. Okay, I'm being nitpicky. Yeah, maybe I am being a bit nitpicky. So, let's try to test out some combat. Alright, we've got the Elf Hunter. We'll pick him. Just one of them. That's all we need. Okay, cell selected unit. There we go. Alright, and we'll get a bunch of swordsmen. Fuck it. This should be good enough, right? So, that beautiful noise aside, let's go ahead and click again. Now, this particular dungeon we've picked, there's one level. One level that does not change and has randomly generated enemies based on a certain amount of army points, it seems. Around 600, I imagine, right? This is kind of your run-of-the-mill tabletop game. So let's actually see what the game looks like. This is the game. I did not edit anything. I did not take anything out. And it looks like the level actually did change this time around. That's interesting. Because the last time I played it twice, it did not change. Alright. So here we have our archer, right? I'm going to put him behind this wall so I can prove my point. Let's move this guy here. As you see, you go through the dungeon. You pick up chests, gems, so on and so forth. Gives you more money to buy more units later on, right? We're going to keep that guy over there in the corner, again, to prove my point when we find an enemy. And so you grab the chests, you grab the stuff, so on. Your basic dungeoneering type. Makes me think of Mage Knights. Kind of similar. Alright. Okay. Haven't found an enemy yet. Okay. There we go. There's an enemy. Check this out. Let's count how many walls there are between me and that zombie that's hidden by the fog of war right now. 1, 2. 2 walls. Arguably 3, if you want to say that. Now check this out. Hit. I hit the zombie with an arrow through 2 walls. Okay. Interesting mechanic. So arrows are clearly OP. Alright, so we're going to move our guy up. Okay, there's some skeletons in this room. Here yonder. Alright, so we were attacked. And again, let's count how many walls are between us and our archer and that zombie. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 walls. Hit. Are you kidding me? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I mean, to a degree, I can accept that. I'm not against games doing what games do, for they do that. Strange things. But from a realistic standpoint, in any game you've ever played, especially tabletop, if there's obstacles in the way, how in hell are you shooting through it? Like, how am I shooting through these walls with the arrow? Is it a magic arrow? I can understand that if it's an arrow that passes through objects. But I don't think it is. I think it's just a regular arrow that I'm lobbing through the wall. Because it's cool. You know, because I'm an elf. We can do that. We can shoot through walls. You never saw Lord of the Rings, you know, Legolas and whatnot? He just shot through the walls. Legolas don't give a fuck. So, yeah. Maybe I'm being nitpicky here. But I paid for this, right? I paid for this game. This costed money. And based on what the licensing for Random Thoughts was 2003, or 2009. So, I'm going to say this game came out in 2009, even though it was just released on Steam. And based on a few reviews I've seen, most of them positive, most of them saying this is a good game. Not entirely sure why, but okay. This is a great game, right? This is just a beautifully immaculate, well done, well thought out game. Absolutely. Why would anyone think any different? Oh, something else that's kind of annoying is you have to be directly next to your opponent. Like, you can't be diagonal. But they can hit you diagonally, but you can't hit them diagonally. Cool concept, right? I mean, clearly well fleshed out. Great, great thing. Adds tactics, right? Why can that zombie hit me twice? Does he have, like, a swinging radius? I don't know. He's dead now. Oh, and the font? Oh, Arial. Interesting, right? You know, like, that D font, it's pretty much, you know, Times New Roman, Comic Sans, and Arial. And, oh, we're back to that noise. Okay. All right. All right. Do you get what I'm saying here? This isn't a good game. This is very poor. Now, don't get me wrong. It has a lot of really cool elements that, if they're fully fleshed out, this could be a really cool game. The fact that you've got all these different pieces to use, okay, that I can't change right now, I guess because I've already started the dungeon. But you have all these, you have 6 units, it seems like. I don't know why there's a scroll bar. I guess you unlock more later on. Maybe that's why. And I just don't know. But my point is, there's a lot of cool concepts. Oh, do you hear that? That's how you stop the music. You press escape. That's what turns the sound off. How the fuck should I know that? Like, where in anywhere does it say that? Nowhere. Nowhere. The tutorial doesn't mention anything. You didn't put an options menu in your game. So, how am I supposed to figure that out aside from the fact that I was trying to go back? I didn't go back. I can't. I have to click begin. I have no choice. And the begin button doesn't even work. Oh, because I have to put an army in. So let's put a bunch of guys in. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Let's go back to customize. Throw a bunch of guys in. Because, you know, my archers can shoot through walls. Why would I build anything else? It's disappointing. It's very disappointing that I paid for this. Sure, there's multiplayer and everything. But why would I want to play a game that's so terribly imbalanced that archers can shoot through walls? They have no limitation aside from the fog of war. Which, if you have one infantry unit that can see, that means those 3 archers, which deal the same amount as an infantry unit, assuming that unit they're fighting against doesn't have block, it doesn't make any sense. Do you see what I'm getting at here? Anyway, this has been Commissar Bro. Thanks for taking the time to check this out. It's kind of disappointing. There's a lot of benefit here. I like the aesthetic. I like the way it looks. And if the music wasn't so loud, I would enjoy the music as well. But it's just, this isn't done. This is not finished. This is a completely, terribly unfinished game that I paid money for. But again, hey, you know what? Whatever. It got put on Steam, so no refunds and whatnot. We don't have to pay shit, right? Whatever. This has been Commissar Bro. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.